Okay, one of the myths that we hear a lot is that mixing languages is a sign of laziness. And I know that I think about that of myself when I speak in a German situation and I mix German words into my English. Because I am a lecturer at the University of Applied Sciences, I teach or train teachers, primary school teachers who are learning to teach English as a foreign language at primary school. They all speak German, my students. I speak in English. The courses are in English. But in every section, I catch myself using German words. And when I'm tired, I know that I use those German words because it's easier and I just can't think of the English. But sometimes I use those German words because I know my students will probably not understand me. And if I am, and then I use those words, I code switch consciously. And I think that's the same situation I have with my children. When they speak English with me and they use German words, I also think they're being lazy. But sometimes they're not being lazy. Sometimes they are. It depends very much on the situation. If they are telling me about what happened at school, there'll be a lot more code switching going on and a lot more German words in there than if they're telling me about a book that they read in English, a film that they saw in English, a situation that they experienced totally in English. Then there'll be a lot of English going on and no code switching. But sometimes even then they'll use a German word. And then it's conscious again. It's almost like it's a strategy. There's just some words that sound better in German than in English, or they're just better suited for the situation. And the one language developed the most beautiful word that you have to use that the other language doesn't have. And I think these are the situations as well where we have to really pay attention. Is it laziness or is it creativity? When a child is code switching, is it a sign, or even myself when I code switch, is it a sign that I really have a good knowledge of both languages, that I can become creative and mix the two together? Or, and then the transfer is positive, it's a win-win situation? Or is it really just my lack of knowledge and my inability in both languages that I am mixing them? And it depends really on the situation. I know from my own experience it does depend on the situation. There's also something else that I noticed. I think what's really nice is if you're a teacher, when I was teaching English at primary school, in the beginning when I started teaching, I used to worry a lot about the accuracy and how correct a grammatical sentence was. And in those situations, when my kids started bringing structures like, it gives no volcanoes in Switzerland. The first time I saw that or heard that, I thought, oh my goodness, they can't say a very important structure. And they should be saying there is, there are. And I need to work on that. And I'm going to go and work on that. But actually, I should have recognized it as this incredible creativity of my kids. They were doing free speech. They were putting or reconstructing the language the way they needed to do it. They were showing me just how much they could do. And I should have recognized that and encouraged it. And with time, I learned to do that too. To see it as a sign of something incredibly positive and not as something negative. So this code switching, what was the myth? Mixing languages is a sign of laziness in bilinguals. No. Sometimes, yes. It depends on how tired you are. But generally, it's a sign, or that's how I've learned with time to realize, it's a sign of transferring knowledge and building on what you know. And it's something creative and positive.